Is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes, bro.
Okay, so yesterday we have gone through our data load, right? So we have used this data. Now we will see some other things inside transform map. We have a script on the mapping side. So let's go to our transform map, and if I click on transform map, we will be going to our transform map, and as soon as I click on, so now this is our transform map which we have created yesterday. And now what we will do, we will see how we can use this mapping, and there is a scripting part as well under mapping. If suppose the requirement is there, like we are getting some 2-3 fields in source or the import set table, then if we have to concatenate those all values and send in one particular field, then we can do that. Okay, so I will show
Since
you.
you are saying there is a name field which we need to eliminate the last name and send, means you need to truncate and pass that value to
So
the
we can from Excel we will get first name and last name, and then automatically it will map to name field. That is an example, but generally it happens with many other fields as well. So where we have multiple fields and then it is added to the name field. Okay, so if suppose we have let us open this one mapping. So suppose we are using this mapping, okay, and right now we know like first name would be matching with the first name. Now if suppose I want to use the script, okay, so now mapping, this map field will go, source field mapping will remove as soon as I will click on a script, because all the calculation will happen using a script. Okay, so now we will get f name equal to, we are accessing the source field value, right? So first name, this is our first name. Okay, and now we can return this variable here. Okay, so what it will do, this whatever value is captured in this variable will be mapped to this first name directly. If we have written source dot u underscore first name, this is the import set table field which we have already created, user data load source table. And if suppose what we can do, by default it will return and be populated into the target field. It's not required to access the target dot class, even though we can access, but it's not required. Automatically it will map to this first name, whatever we are returning from here.
In 1 second, bro, you are saying, suppose if you want to remove something from the first name, means you will say like source dot what is the backend name of the first name from the source table you take, and then you'll do the actions on that, and that complete output will be saved to f underscore name, and that f underscore name is mapping to first name to the target field.
Yes. So this way the calculation will work from the source table to the target table. So suppose you are loading data into location table, right? That is a good example. There we have city, zip location, right, pin code. So all fields are separate, right? But in location we have field where we need to update all those concatenated details in one field, right?
I didn't come across this table, bro, anytime. Okay.
Location table is this.
Okay.
It is very general thing, not only location table. In general also, if you see the for any location, we have city, state, zip, country,
Yeah.
separate field is there everywhere. But there is one field which contains all the details. Like
Yeah.
it is part of something and it contains city, it contains state, it contains zip, it contains the country as well. Right? So this is the concatenated value added under full name.
Part of fields, yeah.
So this way we want to populate something on one single field using utilizing the multiple columns. Then we can use those script there.
Okay.
And as well as we can do the calculation if there are any integer or number passing on. Okay. So you can try to load for location table once and then you will get to know.
Yeah.
Concatenate and add that. Okay.
Yes, bro.
So this way we can use our script, and as well as we have run a script here as well. So this will run when if suppose initially we want some calculation to be happening. At that point of time we can define some script when needed. It's not mandatory, and I have also not used here scripts generally. Either we use this transform script. So there are multiple types of transform script. So if I click on new here, so transform map script we have multiple. Okay, so if you see on after, on start, on choice create, on complete, on foreign insert, all of these options are there, and these are types of basically the transformation script. Now how on start works? So on start basically works how suppose when any single rows is being inserted onto the target table. Okay. Before that itself it will basically trigger the execution.
So, in which scenarios we'll use this transform group?
If suppose there are some default values to be added, so you can use on start. Suppose there are some of the default values on any form, then you can predefine add that info to your record. For example, there is an active flag, and by default we have to set it when any record is inserted. We have to set active as true. So how we can do that? We can define that thing in on start transform map script. Okay, so what it will do before processing, it will update the active flag.
Okay. If we are having a static value for all the records, then we can define here at once.
Yes, so it will automatically run at the start of any rows which is being inserted. Okay. And next we have on before. How this works: run after a target record is identified but before field mappings are applied. So what happens when just before the data is transformed into the target table? At that point of time, this on before transform map script runs. Like import set table is having the data, and when it is transforming to the target table, just before that it will execute the script.
Then what is the difference between on start and on before?
So on start means it will basically execute the thing just before the data is transformed into the import set table also.
Okay.
Very start it will trigger that thing. Before any record are processed, nothing is processed. Like what happens when on before will identify, okay, my target table is, suppose this user table. So he will know like my target table is this user table. But on start script will not know whether my target table is user or not.
Okay.
And it will store the value for some time, and as soon as when the records are processed, then it executes.
Okay.
On after script is there. It is basically running when a record is transformed and saved. Okay, so as soon as the data is saved to the target one, then this on after script executes. Okay.
Yeah.
And before after is complement to each other. Okay. On start will be complement to on complete. On start will be complementing to on complete. Okay, so on complete means on complete script will run when all the data is inserted into the target table.
Okay.
Then we can run the on complete script. It runs basically on complete script whenever all the data is transformed into the target table. And now where are other two options? One option.
Choice create and foreign insert.
So foreign insert is like basically foreign insert is, suppose we are basically loading the data into related list tables also. At that point of time, this foreign insert transform script is used. Okay, generally very less used because we don't update multiple like related list tables also. Most of the time it is directly the data is transformed into the target tables. We don't use it mostly. On choice create. So choice creation is happening when we have reference field or the drop down field, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do when that choice is inserted, so it will execute the script at that point of time. Okay.
Okay.
And on reject is, suppose when we are inserting a data into the related list tables and the operation fails, then on reject script will work. Okay.
Yes, bro.
So why that is happening? On reject very less used. This foreign insert and on reject is never used. I never seen this used. But if we are transforming, then it will be used. Okay. Because what happens when we are inserting to other tables, so there will be some link from the existing table of existing target table for which the transform map is created, right?
Yeah.
So if suppose something goes wrong, then we can add, okay, if the operation is failing, this script will be executed and added using script. That value will be populated using the script. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 type of transform map script. So most of the time on after or on before will be utilized? Oh, on after, on start, on before.
Before on complete.
Yeah, these four are generally used, but mostly I have used on complete, and on start also I have used, but rest all I didn't use. But you can use it if requirement comes. Okay.
Yes, bro.
All right. So this is related to transform map scripting. Now we will jump to our platform ServiceNow scripting. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, bro.
Okay, so let's so now we will jump into scripting overview. Okay. So here we will be talking scripting in terms of platform, and then from each client point of view or server side point of view, we will be talking in individual classes about that as well. Okay. But this is in general how scripting happens in platform, like whether it is server side, whether it is client side. So we will see all of the aspect, and the scripting editor, like where the script is basically written. Okay. So we will be having a lot more details here, and then we will basically start. After this we will be having client script, UI policy, everything. Okay. So under scripting overview, what is ServiceNow scripting? Basically when we have suppose we are having an out of the box configuration in ServiceNow system. Now the requirement comes, okay, now we have to basically achieve XYZ thing, or we have to set some value, or we have to do some validation, like some action has to be taken and multiple field values has to be updated. So there comes the ServiceNow scripting, where we can do the complex configurations and the behaviors using our JavaScript. Okay. Which will allow basically us to do customizations. Because why we call it customization? Because we are creating our own script which will be modifying the data on the database level. Okay. If we are talking about a server side script, so generally it would be updating or execution will be happening on server side. Okay. And taking an example here, we have business rule. This is the business rule, condition, script. So this is just a screenshot which shows you how we can write a script. Here we can write the script area. Here we can define the conditions. Here we can define the actions. If without a script we can set any action, we can set that as well under business rule. We have 3 sections: when to run, actions, advance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is coming under business rules.
Business rule.
And now why we should not use script? So ideally our ServiceNow generally works on the way like no code or low code, right?
Yeah.
So they try to see their system growing like that. So initially it used to be like highly customized system. Okay, but right now these days how the system is being configured, system is provided with lot of out of the box configurations.
Yeah.
Okay, where they have eliminated the usage of the script in ServiceNow, so that it maintains the system and upgrade performs smoothly. Okay, easier to debug and fix, the important thing. And scripting is happening, then there will be some impact in terms of execution performance, right? So first we need to see like how we are basically we can use out of the box thing. So any requirement comes, any requirement, so we have to see whether that can be done without a script or not. If any requirement comes, we have to see like that. And if something configuration is required without scripting, then we can create it easily. That will follow a best practice. But if we don't have any options, then what we can do, we can write a script. Okay. But most of the time scripting is required for some of the things, because every customer or client don't agree with the out of the box system. Okay. Now you see when to script. When should you script? When we have to add new functionality, when you have to extend existing functionality, guide users through messaging, automate process, interact with third-party applications, right?
Okay.
So these all requirement comes, then we have to write a script basically. Automation definitely is required. Interaction with third-party integrations is like without scripting we cannot do basically the integration. And now we have scripting executing in multiple levels like client side, server side and mid server. So these are three places where our script can be executed. Okay.
Yeah.
We have client side. So for an example, when if we are executing anything on browser level, or any mandatory or auto-populate or read-only field, so that all things can be executed using client script. Okay.
Bro, read only we can do with the UI, some like a dictionary will be there, no bro?
So it will apply the changes for all of them.
Okay.
So that if you see the state field in incident table, that is coming from the task table.
Yeah.
So if you modify there, it will be modified in incident, problem, change, request, everywhere.
Yes.
So that's why, although we can create dictionary override there, but still we recommend to use UI policies if we are basically making field read only based on some conditions, right? If you use dictionary override also, then it will be permanently read only or permanently mandatory. That will not be based on condition, right? If we modify using dictionary,
Yeah.
that will not follow any condition. So for that purpose, we have client script, UI policy, catalog, client script. Okay. So these are examples of client side scripting.
Okay.
Server side scripting, as I mentioned earlier, when we are modifying any database record, then that means we are executing the script in the database level. And trigger a flow also comes under server side execution. So these are all server side execution: business rule, glide system, glide record, script include, flow designer. These are all coming under server side script. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have options to use glide record in client script, but that is not a best practice. We will learn about it in future. And other way is like we can execute on mid server. So basically the mid server is installed in client system. So it is not basically any system. So it has to be installed in client machine. From there we can do the execution if any execution is required, because that will be working as a bridge between ServiceNow system and their system if we are getting any CMDB data. Okay.
Like mid server is also like a database, no bro?
No, it is not a database.
Then what it is used for mid server?
Mid server is used when we have to get the data from client system to ServiceNow system. Basically,
Like,
and the most important usage is for discovering IT asset and services, and then updating to the ServiceNow CMDB.
okay.
So mid server is installed in that system, and it is connected with the ServiceNow system using this mid server only, and it will behave like a bridge between ServiceNow system and the client system.
Okay.
Now, how do you script in ServiceNow? So we have this scripting editor, okay, where we have automatic JavaScript syntax coloring, auto indentation, line numbers, creation of closing braces and quotes. These all are following the practice, right? Context sensitive help, code editing functions. These all things comes with out of the box editor. If we type braces, automatically closing braces are there, quotes, similarly automatic quotes are added, right? We can check the syntax error from our scripting section as well. So here we are talking how the color is applying. We are declaring a variable that is in purple. Variable is declared, then it is in blue. Then we have comments in green color. Bold plus italics means this is referencing to some table. We can directly open table from the scripting area itself. Okay. So that code should be in most readable form. That's why the color coding is followed. Okay.
Yeah.
So they are talking about parenthesis. If we apply single quotes parenthesis, ending parenthesis automatically adds, right? Similarly for braces and quotes and parenthesis.
Yeah.
Okay, it will check for opening and closing tags for their scope. And now, if we want to see what all methods or what all things can be utilized under our scripting part, then we can click Control plus space bar. Okay, like this. It will show what method we can use. Okay.
Okay, like what are available methods it will show.
Yes. For that type of scripting, whether it is client side or whether it is server side. Okay. List method for a class, list expected parameters. So as soon as we type something like gform dot add info message, then this comes and shows what does this method do and what are all its parameters. Everything it will be shown while writing the method for that specific script. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me show you how it looks. Suppose we have this example control plus space bar, control plus space bar. See, there are huge amount of list here. Okay, if suppose g underscore form is supported in client side, if we write it, we will get all the methods of this API. Okay.
Yeah.
Add info message if I am selecting. So here you will get the parameters what all needs to be passed. Okay. And if
Like it will give the definition of
Yeah.
what we have to do.
and this is the braces, it automatically creates. See, right? So this they were trying to explain here.
Yeah.
Similarly, this if we declare any array also, then also it will be coming under dot walking if we have created such array. If suppose we are referencing to any glide record table, then we can get the reference so data so definition with related to that specific table. Okay,
Okay.
we can check all the script written as part of that table from the find references. Okay, this is interesting one and it is very used most of the time. If you see in our script include we have used, right? Okay, we didn't complete a script include. We will start.
Yeah.
So I am taking one sample. So suppose this is the glide record, right, to the user table. Now if I right click here and if I click on find references, so it will give me the reference for what all things is written for this. See how many client script, how many business rule written for this particular table, everything will come here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is interesting one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it will work only for the table names.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is find reference and we can click on any reference and we can open our file like this.
Okay. Okay.
Now we have syntax editor toolbar options. Okay, so first one is toggle syntax, which will basically enable or disable the editor. Like we will get normal text field there. No any methods will be coming if we close the syntax editor. Okay, so this is the thing, right? If I click here, so it will convert into normal text. Now here curly braces you have to add manually whenever you are adding.
Okay.
Okay, so you can basically, so I have enabled, so it looks good, right? Now we have this toggle comment, so we can comment any line by clicking here. Okay, using this we can format our code if it is not written correctly, so we can format here. We can replace and search and replace this facet. You know this is this is notepad feature. This is search. We can search anything inside this.
This is notepad. Yeah, you are saying like find and replace, right? Yeah, I understood that.
And if we want to basically get to next level, then we can click scroll up, scroll down. Okay. And this is if we want to toggle our screen to big, then you can do it. Yeah. And this is the help. If any help is required, basically it will show the shortcuts. Like if you want to see toggle full screen, Control Alt Enter. So these are the help key. If you want to learn any shortcuts, so you can learn. This is save button. If we can click on save here also and here also. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is the syntax checking. So it will check the syntax, whether if any mistake is there within your script, then we can check.
Okay.
Yeah, red or warning also it can show sometime, and red also it can show if it is an error.
Okay.
And this is the script debugger where we can debug our script. So there we can open our script and see whether how it is working. So you can basically utilize that script debugger, right? See. So these are all things under the syntax editor. This all I have explained. This also.
These also, I think we have done everything.
Yes. Yeah, I have covered there. They are telling it with one by one demo. So here they have clicked on to get errors and resolve syntax error checking. This is so now. Yeah, this ends here with the scripting editor. Now here we have JavaScript in ServiceNow. So if you see, we have various JavaScript APIs for client side and the server side. Okay, which will be mostly used in our scripting area. Okay. So under client side classes we have glide ajax, glide form, glide list, glide record, glide user, SP model. Okay. These are client side classes.
All these things we'll use for sure in our client script.
Client script mostly glide form will be used more frequently.
Form.
Glide ajax will be used frequently under client side, and if we jump into server side, we will be using mostly the glide record.
Bro, here also we have a glide record in client side. What is the difference between those?
Yeah, difference is there. A client side will execute on client level. It will not update the database. But
both things will do the same thing.
No, it will not do the same thing. If you want to get the data, or if you are updating table also, then what will happen? Client side scripting will hold the system while doing that, and which is not recommended to use database executions through the client side script. When scripting overview was started, I told you we can use glide record in a client side also, but we don't use it because that is not a best practice actually. Okay. So under server side we have what?
Okay. Usually we use glide record means only the server side max of the times.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember that is a best practice only. If you write glide record only on server side. So server side classes, these are just smaller, but we have huge list of server side classes also. But these are very less used. That's why very common use classes were provided here. Glide aggregate, glide date time, glide element, glide record, glide query, glide system, JSON workflow. So under server side we will be using glide system and the glide record the most. Okay. Because most of the purpose gets solved here, and if we are manipulating any date or date time field, then we use glide date time and glide date classes. Okay, we have those all list in JavaScript API documentation. So you can go to developer.servicenow.com. There you can get all the APIs. Okay. Because that list is so huge. Okay. And this is the JavaScript mode, which is by default set to the standard JavaScript engine, where it is automatically set to some ECMAScript version. So this is old version, but now you will find some different version. But this modification is never required from our side. It's just for info. Okay. if we don't do anything also, doesn't matter. Your further script will work anywhere you do.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about this thing. And now we have scripting sources like Now Community. These are all the things which I already mentioned.
Yeah.
ServiceNow community, Now Learning, product documentation, developer documentation, ServiceNow University, right?
Yeah.
So you can go through those and then you can basically see how many methods or classes are there. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will start on client script mostly in our next session. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this is like a scripting overview which was required because you might be asking for what purpose these buttons are used, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's why I have mentioned you in starting. And if you want to go more learning inside this, you can go to this site developer.servicenow.com. It will provide lot of things. See, this is the API. Okay, server scope, server global.
Yeah.
So if we click on server global, see how many big list is there. Right? So everything cannot be mentioned in Excel, right?
Yeah.
Whatever is used, then we come here and search and then we utilize in our scripting. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's all for today's session. We will start on our next session on client script. And then
I'll try to use the task like you have given. You have told right for the location,
Yes.
content.
Yes.
That I'll try today.
Yeah, you have to do that and see if it is working or not. And if you have anything, you can let me know tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day. Bye.